If a girl expects you to pay for everything, like for the dates, for dinner, for a new bag, for clothes, skincare, whatever, and it has you stressing, you should honestly just leave her, bro. Do the right thing. Leave her and get your bread up, you fucking broke ass bitch. Focus on yourself. What the fuck are you doing wasting her time like that?
You want a beautiful woman? Beauty costs, man. Manicures, pedicures. You know how much it costs for a woman to keep her skin clear? Yes, nice diet, gym, good food. You like women, you want her beautiful and natural? Well, guess what? That costs. And you should pay it gladly.
Most modern men are not ready to get into a relationship with a woman because they don't understand the cost and the requirements. And they also lack self-accountability and maturity.
Under no circumstance ever should a man ever let a woman pay for a date, or you should split ever. No circumstance.
Even on the third, fourth, fifth.
What if it's the first date and you're just not into it?
Anything.
Okay, well let me.
Period.
Well, let me. Okay, so
what kind of world are we living in?
Well, hold on a second. I agree with you. If I'm dating a girl, I would pay for everything.
Everything.
Yeah, everything. However, I could see for other people that might be in a different financial position, you know, you pay for 10 dates and then she's like, you know what, I want to treat you.
Well,
I think that's so sweet.
That's totally different. What we're talking about is like, oh, we're going to alternate. Like, well, what's your serious and she wants to take you out to something for a nice dinner. And you might, by the way, if you have the intent to marry, you're already like kind of blending finances. Like, I get that psychologically, but like if you're like, oh, we'll take turns. Like, oh, well, you know, you pay this time, I pay this time.
What's your advice to a girl who the guy she's currently seeing, he says that?
Oh, do not marry that man.
But here's the thing. I feel like they should always
break
offer.
Great.
But they should offer. They should pull out the credit card.
The woman? Of course not.
Just to offer.
No.
It's a nice gesture.
No, by the way, no. This is feminism. Feminism is that you have to be this like self-independent. This is not a nice gesture. It's you trying to be like egalitarian. No. You as women should want to be provided for. In fact, you should have an expectation that you as a woman are so important and so critical and so necessary and beautiful that it shouldn't even be a question.
But see, to me, when I was dating, it would be a huge turnoff if the check comes and she just looks at it and then looks at me and looks at the check.
I totally disagree.
Every time my boyfriend complains that my standards are way too high, I'm always like, okay, you have the freedom to go and date a girl that splits the bill, does 50-50, contributes financially to the relationship. There's a lot of girls that are happy to do that. Why did you choose me? Why are you with me? And his answer is always the same, which is, well, if I dated a girl like that, she would keep me poor. I wouldn't be as motivated, I wouldn't work as hard, I wouldn't want to be better or grow or want better for my life if I'm with a girl that doesn't push me and doesn't have any expectations from me. He doesn't even necessarily mean poor financially, because a lot of men were born with money, but in a matter of a mindset and mentality. You know, whether you like it or not, whether they're not aware of it yet, subconsciously, most men are like that. And this is why maybe they might choose a girl at the beginning who helps them when they're at their lowest, but then once they made it, they dump her for a girl who is the opposite and has the highest standards and would have never dated them at their lowest. If I can give you a piece of advice from my experience dating, as someone who's always had the money to contribute in a relationship, no matter how rich, successful, and financially stable you are as a woman, if your partner doesn't feel like he's the one providing, he's the one supporting you and helping you, he will take advantage of you. Inevitably, he'll get comfortable and eventually he'll get bored. Again, maybe there is 1 in a million men who are not like this. They're better people and understand what you're trying to do for them. But once I learned this, my experience in dating got a lot better. So save yourself some time and energy.
50-50 is not about the money. It's more so like the man is the provider as far as the mortgage, the big bills, and I might buy all the groceries. I am in TJ Maxxon, you know what I'm saying? Making this house look like a home. That's my 50% that I bring, because as a man, you can't really bring what I bring. You can't make this house a home like I can. We out of deodorant and toothpaste, mess around with you. I got everything else covered. You covered the big things, and I'll be up under that umbrella.
Ladies, I'm about to put you on some serious game, yeah? Not everything is about you. Listen to me, just let me land. Sometimes that man don't want to see you or is avoiding you because he's broke. And he's a man, so he's not going to say it. He would rather slit his own wrist than say it. Of course he wants to go out with you. You're perfect. You're just what he's looking for. Just not right now. He doesn't have the capacity. And men are not like women. Women, it's okay for you to go through periods and stuff and chat about it. Nobody's going to judge you for it. But men, the judgment a man gets is crazy. So I don't even blame them. I was talking to one of my girls and I just gave her the option. I said, look, maybe it's not even you because all the other signs are there. Maybe he's just going through something right now. And as a man, you don't want to chat about it. Can you blame them for that? Men, am I wrong? Come chime in, let me know. On the flip side, he could just not be interested. But it's also an option. The other one I was talking about.
Women are expensive. They're going to be your biggest cost in life, but they're also going to be the biggest return on your investment. Interestingly enough, with women, the things that end up being most important to them are going to be the things that require the least amount of money. When I first got married, my wife and I were staying in this hotel before we flew out to our honeymoon. And I went down and I got this journal. I picked it up in the gift shop in this hotel. My wife didn't know I picked it up. Every day for the first year of our marriage, I wrote in that journal something about her that I loved and that I appreciated, something that I admired about her. She had no idea I was writing it. As we went through that first year of marriage, wherever we traveled, I'd get little stickers and put it in there, and I'd write little notes in there and little journal entries about what I saw in her that day that I just really loved and admired. That has been the best gift that I've ever given my woman, and it cost me $7.99 at that gift shop. If you guys want to do something special for your wife, for an anniversary, for a birthday, for Mother's Day, put in some time. Get a journal, don't let her know you're doing it, and every day write something in there that's special about her. But when you do, make sure it's legible so it's better than mine.
There's no such thing as a gold digger. Women are naturally expensive, so pick one in your price range and shut up. Hair, nails, skincare, clothes, makeup, none of that is free. Even that girl that you think's low maintenance, the one that's natural, you must have never had a girlfriend before, because that natural girl, she's rocking a $200 effortless look, okay? That's just the base model. You want the leather seats and the sunroof, that's gonna cost you, okay? So pick one in your price range and shut up. You don't walk into a luxury car dealership and yell at the salesman because the car is more than you can afford. You get a Corolla and you mind your business, right? If she's out of your budget, that's not her being a gold digger. That's you shopping in the wrong aisle. You can't complain that champagne costs too much when you only brought beer money, okay? Stop complaining and just date within your means. That's what I do, okay? There's someone for everyone. Stop crying about women wanting too much and go find someone whose idea of a fancy night out is Buffalo Wild Wings. They're out there. I grew up with them. These are my people. But I'm from Jersey. I'm not from Monte Carlo, and that's okay.
A lot of men are probably going to hate what I'm about to say, but I don't care. I refuse to date broke men. I used to, and I used to think it was okay. And I have no idea why I ever thought that that was a good idea. Because if you come from a certain background, if you have a certain lifestyle, like within your family, then I think it is only natural to want and expect that out of your partner for your future as well. Like, why would I want to live below what I have experienced as a human being, right? And this isn't like a totally biased perspective, because although I had a certain upbringing, I have also experienced both ends of the spectrum. Like, when I was younger, my dad used to be in mortgage lending, and when the economy crashed, that was really bad for our family. So like, I have also experienced like food stamps, having nothing, foreclosure. I've gone through that. So like, I also do know what that's like, and I've learned a lot of lessons from that, but that's not how like my childhood started, and that's also like not what my family is like now. So all's to be said, I used to think it was okay, and I was like, you know what, like, it doesn't matter, like, I'll support them and whatever. And I've even been the one to pay for more stuff, and I'm like, you know what, I know that if me and my partner like wanted to start a business or whatever, my dad would help us. Why would I want that? Why would I not want a man that could provide for me like my dad did? Like my dad provided for my mom. My mom was a stay-at-home mom when my parents were married. I want that too. I want to raise my own kids. I want to stay home. I don't want to stress about money. I want us to have nice things, get to have nice experiences. I want that for my children. I think that is perfectly fine. So yeah, that's my expectation now. And it's not like I'm lazy. Like, obviously I have a job. I've made 6 figures since I was 22 years old. My dad doesn't help me. Like, I'm not being supported is what I'm trying to say. I can take care of my shit. But if I'm going to choose somebody as a life partner, they're going to take care of me, period. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Are you going to pick a man where now you have to struggle? Why would any woman do that? And then also, why do men get mad at women for choosing a better option? And they always go, oh, well, with you, it's all about money. Well, fucking it kind of is. I mean, it's just because it comes with a lifestyle that I expect for myself or that I've always dreamt of or whatever, anything in between that. And what are you going to do? Be mad at women for that? Who are you mad at? For men, it kind of all does boil down to money. How much you got? How much are you willing to give me? You see what I'm saying? Because there's men out here that are willing to give me some. How much are you willing to give me? So I got to weigh out my options. I got to select the best one because time is of the essence and I don't have any to waste. Matter of fact, now that you mention it, it kind of is about money. A little bit it is. Maybe more than I'm willing to admit it is. But it's a lot about money. All right? Then are you going to be like emotionally available for me after that? But let's start with the money part. You started with me with the looks part. So let's just call it like it is. All right? How much you got? I got to select the best option for me.
I think men should pay for everything initially in a relationship. A man needs the guardrails and the emotional support of a relationship more than a woman. When a woman doesn't have a romantic relationship, she pours that energy into work and friends and can still have quite a nice life. When a man doesn't have a relationship, doesn't cohabitate, or isn't married by the time he's 30, there's a 1 in 3 chance he's going to be a substance abuser. He pours that additional energy into things like video games and porn and nationalism. Widowers are less happy than when they were married. Widows are happier after their husband dies. So the reality is, a woman, specifically in her mating years where she's fertile, her time is just more valuable. The downside potential of sex on that date is much greater for her, and you are going to benefit more as the male from a potential relationship, which says to me that a means of establishing that you recognize the asymmetry and trying to compensate for that asymmetry is, in my view, to start by paying.
I agree with you about dating, and what I would say is that I think too many men think that the first date or early dates have to be this extravagance in terms of how much it costs. It just has to be thoughtful. You should just live within your means. We want to laugh and have a good time and have a non-threatening sexual encounter. I'm totally with you, and I think it is a nice gesture, and then you figure out your lives together.
This is why I tell you, ladies, bypass dust, bypass men that are in survival mode, bypass men that work hard for their money and they want you to work hard for their money. Get men who are literally able to provide for you with no problems. They're going to be older, mature, and they're going to have a strong sense of masculinity versus survival mode. They're not going to be mad at you if they give you some money and you don't call for a day. They're going to be like, oh, well, I'm glad you're okay, because they have too many other options and they have more money that they could do anything with, okay? Y'all need to start dating men that have real money and leave the dust alone, okay? Men with real money, they don't mind spending. They have it to spend. They'll make more of it while they're spending it. There are more is coming in. You understand? Leave the broke dust alone. Leave the survivors alone. They're barely surviving. That's why they're mad. They're mad because they have to work hard for that money. And when they give it to you, they want you to do something for it since they did something for it. But when you find a man that's making money in his sleep, in several ways, he don't care. He's gonna spend. Okay, y'all are out here dealing with this dust and y'all don't understand. Leave the dust alone. They ain't got nothing to lose. Get you a man that can just spend without worry. That's what you need. He's gonna be older. He's going to like you 10 times more. He's going to not care about the little chump change that he spent on you. If you have a man out here stressed out, losing sleep, having night sweats about the money he spent on you, that's not the one. He's in survival mode. Leave him to himself. But that's not who y'all need to be dealing with. Those type of men will chase you down for $20. You don't want that.
Men need to date within their price range. And the reason for that is because people will say, oh, you know, a girl is a gold digger. No, that's not true. It's just she has hobbies that cost more. And as a guy, if you're getting mad at her for having those hobbies before you've even met her that cost a lot more, you probably shouldn't be dating her in the first place because you can't afford to do those things. Now with that, you take another girl who's, let's say, a low maintenance girl, and she likes to go hiking, you know, surfing, fun adventurous stuff outside, but she likes to do those things where she wants to fly to the Alps. That's going to cost a lot of money. So you take a girl that, you know, all girls are going to, you're going to have to fork out a little bit of money because it's like you should be a man and pay for the things for that woman, right? But you're never going to date a girl who you're not really ever going to have to spend a lot of money on. Like, a girl can say, oh no, I don't want him to ever spend any money on me. Maybe like a girl boss or something like that. But if you take a girl, she's gonna still want some things from the guy. You're gonna have to get her flowers, take her out for dinner, all this kind of stuff. If you were single, you're not gonna have to be spending that kind of money.
Bro, now I understand why rapping women be telling broke dudes to be quiet. They really be doing people favors, bro. Because dating is expensive, bro. Dating costs money, bro. Bro, that's low-key why I broke up with my last girlfriend, bro. I ain't got time for it. Too much money. Bro, 2 years in a row I was in relationships, bro. I spent thousands of dollars on this relationship, bro. On top of having to spend money on the person that you're dating, you have to spend money on the person that you're dating. You trying to be fresh, so you got to get an outfit to go out. An outfit turns into a pair of shoes. A pair of shoes turns into a pair of shades. A pair of shades turns into a watch. And a watch turns into some cologne. I'm already down hundreds of dollars for one night. And I'm far from broke. I'm not broke, but I'm cheap. I don't like spending money like that, bro. I don't like seeing a whole bunch of money leaving at once. I grew up in the church. My dad told me for a long time, don't have sex before you're married. Don't have sex before you're married. I did not listen at all. I did my thing. And that's why God sent down these gas prices. I don't want to date nobody right now. I am celibate until the gas goes down below $2. Ain't no way I'm getting in my car and driving over to some lady house so she could give me a headache. Not at this rate. Not with these prices, bro. Bro, I looked up the price of boiled shrimp today. I was like, I want some boiled shrimp. Let me see how much it costs. $23.99, bro. It's like Mr. Krabs owns everything. He owns everything. The grocery store, the seafood restaurants, the gas station. Mr. Krabs is out here. It's official. I'm a gold digger. If you ain't got money, don't talk to me. I don't want to talk. If you're not ready to take care of me, I don't want to talk. I'm a gold digger now. We get married, I'm taking half. It's just that quick. It's just that. I'm taking half, shorty. I'm doing what these shorties doing, man. To these women, to these men, I'm doing it to these women, man. On second thought, I'm going to just stay single. Work on me. Stay out that dating pool. And it's hard. You see a fine thing in the grocery store, or you see a fine thing while you out. I want to holler so bad. Man, I'm so disciplined. I am legitimately focusing on me. Focusing on nothing else but me. Lock it down. Clink, clink.
This is what happens when you date a man who treats women like vending machines. They think they're going to put money in and schmex is going to fall out. This is what I mean when I say that some men can't afford to date, because if you're worried about the money that you spent on a date because it didn't end the way you wanted it to end, you did not have that money to spare. Don't use your rent money, your utility money, your car note. Don't use money that you need to eat thinking that you're going to get lucky on a date, because you're going to get disappointed almost every single time. Men like this want to treat all women like schmax workers. They act like they're disappointed as if they didn't get what they paid for, but you didn't pay a schmax worker. I posted a video recently of a man on Ring camera footage having a mini meltdown because a woman didn't let him in. He was like, she didn't let me in because I'm too nice, but I paid for dinner. These are the so-called nice guys that think you owe them your body because they took you to dinner. These are the same men that are going to complain that women are transactional. They don't mind transactions. They just hate when you decline theirs.
Someone said the other day that dating must be expensive because as a man, when you're trying to impress a woman and court a woman, you try to go above and beyond, so it must cost a lot of money. My response is not really, and it should not cost a lot of money, and this is why. This is what I believe to be courting a woman the correct way. First of all, what can you do for yourself? You feel what I'm saying? Now, me personally, as a man, single, doing my own thing, I still eat nice shit. I still buy nice shit. I still do nice shit. So a date with me is inviting you into the nice shit that I already do for myself. Now, I'm not saying that we're not going to do something fancy or do something dope or do something where we got to get dressed, but I'll never, ever present something to a woman that I couldn't do for myself. And if you do that, that's what makes it expensive because you're spending shit and you're doing shit that you're not normally doing. You know what I'm saying? But if you invite a motherfucker to come do some of the same activities or the same caliber of activities and events and dinners that you do with yourself, you don't even look at the cost of the shit because you're used to spending this. So when it comes to being genuine, though, you don't even look at the cost of something or how inconvenient it was or none of those type of things when you doing it just off of the strength of, I want to make this person happy or I want to enjoy my time with this person. And when you look at things from that type of lens, you don't see it as expensive. But if you see a motherfucker and you be like, okay, cool, the first date, we finna go spend $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, and then they'll never see this caliber of date again, that's crazy as hell. Of course it's going to be expensive because you're introducing the vibe that you can't sustain, and that's unfair to the girl.
You see, my problem is I like bad bitches, bro. And like with bad bitches, you got a whole slew of issues as a man that you have to deal with. The biggest issue that I have when it comes to liking bad bitches is I am picky than a mug. Real shit. Now, I could see a shorty. I could think she's cute. I could think she's attractive. But in my eyes, you're not a bad bitch. See, I don't have a type for real. I could date any ethnicity, any type of woman, but you gotta be a bad bitch, bro. Second problem with dating bad bitches is you gotta be very secure within yourself, bro. Very secure. Now listen, dating a bad bitch is not for everybody, bro. You gotta be very secure within yourself. You have to know how to date a bad bitch. Real shit. Because at the end of the day, you gotta let your shorty be bad, bro. She gonna be wearing some shit you may not like. She gonna be acting a certain way you may not like. But listen, that's what comes with the territory, my nigga. You feel me? The last thing, bro, that kind of ties in with the second thing is she gonna get a lot of attention from all types of people. All types, girls and guys. And as a man, bro, you gotta be okay with that, bro. Because if you walking down the street with your shorty, everybody gonna be looking at her. And then they gonna look at you and then look at her. I've experienced this. This happens all the time. And people gonna try you, guys and girls. Don't think it's only the guys. The girls are going to try you too. They're going to try to maybe walk up on you to try to test your shorty. And the guys are going to try to test you by walking up on your shorty. These are things that you have to deal with when dealing with a bad shorty. Hey, comes with the territory.
Don't hate me, but I think the man should be paying for like all the bills. Now, I didn't always think this way. I used to be a 50-50 nigga. You know, you split the bills down 50-50, you pay for vacations 50-50, you go on dates 50-50. And it's so weird because my mindset completely switched now that I have money. It's like, I get it now. It's like, if we're out, don't you dare whip out your purse. I don't even want to see that shit. Don't do that dumb shit. Because I feel like as a man, you're supposed to want to pay for everything. Like, well, to pay for the bills, to pay for, to just treat your lady and to be able to be in a position to take care of her needs. And realistically, ladies, I feel like most men, if not all, no, I'm not gonna give it to all because there are some waste niggas out there, but most men, that's what we want. We want to be able to provide. We want to be able to be in a position to take care of y'all. And it wasn't until I was like 27 to 28 that I feel like I figured life out. I'm 29 now and I'm turning 30 in like 3 months, but yeah, it took a while. Like I'm getting older now. And with age comes maturity, comes wisdom, comes growth, comes more matured mindsets of, yes, I want to pay for everything. I want to pay for the bills. I want to pay for trips. I want to do all that stuff as long as you're taking care of me. And I'm not just talking about like sex. I'm talking about, you know, just play your role and do things that show me that you appreciate me and the hard work that I put in. And not all men are going to be in a position to be able to do these things. But if you have a man that works hard, is ambitious, strives for greatness, has goals, has a vision for his future, doesn't complain about life and everything, society and the economy, and understands, a man that understands that every problem and everything that happens in his life is his fault and it's his fault to take care of and deal with, that's the kind of nigga you gotta stick beside, because I promise you that man right now, he may not have it, but when he does, he's gonna take care of you. It's just naturally embedded within our DNA. We want to take care of our lady. We want to take care of our family. We want to take care of our pack. That's just how it is. And it wasn't until I got older, worked on myself, you know, did the thing right, and, you know, finally have money that I can just spend, that I have this mindset where it's like, yeah, I want to do this, and I'm very happy to do so. But to those niggas that still are on that, nah, we gotta split bills 50, man. I don't know about y'all strong. But also, ladies, you gotta remember that a man is not just gonna put out all these things for just any woman. You gotta be a very special woman for him to want to be able to take care of you in all facets. You can't just show up because you're pretty, because you're attractive, because you got a vagina. It doesn't work like that. You also gotta put in work. You also gotta show the nigga what makes you different. Why are you worth all of his hard work? You see what I'm saying? So it goes both ways, but at the end of the day, the main message is, yeah,